So it's always incredibly frustrating to be riding your bike and then feel something come loose. This happens to me all the time with my pedals, my cranks. It can happen to anybody. Aside from crashing on a brand new BMX trick, one of the most frustrating things that can happen to you is going out for a street sesh, being away from your tools, being away from your car, and having something come loose. That could be a pedal, it could be a crank, it could be your handlebars. There's a lot of things that can go loose, and someone in the Discord is having trouble with his cranks coming loose. Dom says, every time I go out for a street sesh, my driver's side crank unscrews itself, and it's a little bit annoying. I'd say it's a lot of bit annoying. That would drive me absolutely crazy. And if that's happening to you, in this video, I'm going to explain exactly what you need to do to prevent that from happening. It includes one secret tip that every BMX rider should know, so let's get right into it. If you have a pesky part that's coming loose, the secret tip, the thing that you need is Loctite. Now, Loctite goes on the threads when you screw a bolt into something, and it locks tight. It just holds it there in place. It keeps it from unscrewing, and it just keeps it in place. And so Loctite is incredibly important for certain bolts, and everyone should be using it. Now, it's important for you to understand that there's two different types of Loctite. There's blue Loctite and there's red Loctite. Red Loctite is bad, stay away from it. Red Loctite means that it really won't unscrew again. I mean, it will, but it's gonna be really hard. Blue Loctite just holds it in place. You might be working on your bike and you unscrew a bolt and you notice that there's some blue on the threads. That's blue Loctite, and that's what it's doing, is it's keeping your bolts on your bike from unscrewing. You don't wanna put it on every bolt, like, you don't wanna put it on your hubs, you don't wanna put it on, I don't know, your compression cap. Like, there are certain bolts that you don't wanna put Loctite on, but on your pedals is a really good one, and especially on your cranks and that bolt that holds your sprocket in place. Those coming loose, those should not come loose, and you don't need to undo them very often. So throwing some blue Loctite on there is always a good idea. If you've already got Loctite on there and it's still coming loose and it's still causing you problems, another thing to consider is to make sure that everything's assembled properly. If you put your bike together on your own and you have no idea what you're doing, there's a good chance you mess something up. There's a thing with pedals and crank arm sides, like your cranks need to be on specific sides because of the way that when you pedal, it tightens your pedals, and there's like just little things like that, little maintenance tips that only more advanced people understand. And so you might have put something together wrong on the bike, and it's always good to take it to a bike mechanic, get a second look, and have them look at it. If the blue Loctite doesn't work, that would be option number 2. But honestly, save yourself some money, go buy a little tube of blue Loctite for a few dollars, throw it on there, and that should do the trick. The last thing here is you've taken it to a mechanic, you've put blue Loctite on it, and you're still getting that loose feeling or that annoying sound. There could be something broken or something wearing down. Everything might be put together right, but for example, me right now, I just swapped out my chain and it's making the worst grinding sound. When I pedal, that chain sounds like it's gonna explode. And it's because I had previously installed the chain upside down, the old chain. So now that I have the new chain on the correct way, the way that it sits on the driver and everything, it's not good and it's making some noises. So I'm gonna have to replace everything to get rid of that sound. The moral of the story is that there are so many different components and there's so many different things going on with a BMX bike. There's bolts that hold one thing in place that don't hold something else in place. There's bolts that you have to loosen before you compress something and then tighten them again. Like, there's a lot going on and it's a pretty advanced thing. So if you have something coming loose, put some blue Loctite on it. If you still have it coming loose, take it to a mechanic. If you still have it coming loose, something's probably broken and you need to get it fixed ASAP Rocky. If you have any more BMX questions, join the BMX Nerds Discord, post your question in there. There's over 1,400 other BMX riders in there ready to help you be successful with BMX. Yeah, can't wait to see you in there. We'll see you guys in the next video.